Good morning, Year 2. Welcome to our next writing lesson. Let's begin by imitating our story. Remember to be loud, speak clearly, and use the actions.
Storm unicorns. The storm unicorn is a type of unicorn that is very rare. Physical appearance. A storm unicorn has the body of a horse and a long horn, full stop. The horn usually has a spiral shape and sticks out from the middle of the head, full stop. Most are a beautiful ebony colour with flashes of gold and silver that look like lightning, full stop. As a storm unicorn moves, it sends out showers of tiny electric splinters, full stop. Habitats. Like the common unicorn, the storm unicorn lives in forests, full stop. They are very shy and therefore not often seen, full stop. During the daytime, they sleep under bushes or curled up amongst ferns, full stop. At night, the storm unicorn emerges and, if you're lucky, can be seen in the moonlit pools, full stop. Diet. Storm unicorns have a fairly limited diet, full stop. In the main, they live on leaves, grass, and other forms of vegetation, full stop. However, they can be tempted with apples, and some have even been found to eat sugar lumps. Full stop. If you find a storm unicorn, you must never, ever feed it potatoes, as they are allergic to them and it will make them seriously ill. Full stop. Fun facts. The last known sighting of a storm unicorn was in 1673 by a man called Dr. Dapper, who claimed that he saw one whilst walking in the woods, but he could not prove it, full stop. The most amazing thing about storm unicorns is that if you meet one, it can bring you great luck, full stop. For this reason, many people hope to catch a glimpse of the most beautiful, fiery creature, full stop.
Today we are learning to use adverbial sentence starters. Last week we learnt them as adverbial sentence starters or exciting sentence starters. So we're going to understand what adverbial sentence starters are, and then we're going to use these adverbial sentence starters in our writing about rainbow unicorns. So our star words are comma, adverbial, and hook the reader. Fantastic. Now, just like when we do something that's effective, what that does is it hooks the reader, and that's why we use adverbial or exciting sentence starters that describe the rest of the sentence. So when we use adverbial sentence starters, we hook the reader because it sounds more exciting. Let's look at these two examples. Storm unicorns sleep during the day. Second one, during the day, most storm unicorns are asleep. When we have the adverbial sentence starter here, this is an adverbial sentence starter about time, isn't it? It's telling us the time during the day. It's more exciting than just saying storm unicorns sleep during the day. Here, we're hooking the reader by saying, oh, during the day, and then giving our main fact, most storm unicorns sleep. Remember, after an adverbial sentence starter, we use a comma to separate it from the main clause, the main part of the sentence. Remember, we have these three different kinds of sentence starters. They could be one word, and they often end in lys. So interestingly, surprisingly, curiously, impressively, astonishingly. Again, think about how much that's going to hook somebody in when you're telling them a fact. If you say, oh, astonishingly, instead of saying your fact first, if you hook them by saying it's going to be astonishing, people are much more likely to read on. The second kind is we could have a phrase. It doesn't just have to be a word. It could be an interesting fact is, comma, a surprising fact is, comma, did you know, comma, or you would never guess, comma. And lastly, we had those adverbial sentence starters about time. They're describing when something's happening. So it could be during the evening or the day or the morning, or we could say, oh, at night or at dawn. This is what rainbow unicorns are up to. So I would like you to pause the video and spot the odd one out. You need to read all three sentences and decide which one is the odd one out. Is it the one which has an adverbial sentence starter, or is it the one that doesn't? Pause me now and have a go. Okay, the answer is the first sentence. But why? Because it does not have an adverbial sentence starter. It begins by saying most storm unicorns, and it's when the others say, did you know, comma, or surprisingly, comma, and then go in to say the fact. Let's now look at another one. Spot the odd one out. Again, I want you to read all three sentences and decide, what is the odd one out? Is it the one which has the adverbial sentence starter or the one that doesn't? Pause me now. Okay, the odd one out was the second one because it had an adverbial sentence starter. A big clue for this was the fact that there was a comma right after the sentence starter. The other two, this one began with a generalizer and this one just began by saying rainbow unicorns and went straight into their fact. But the second one hooked the reader with the sentence starter. At night time, rainbow unicorns can eat potatoes, which is very different to what a storm unicorn can do, isn't it? Okay, in our writing today, we are going to have our subheading, which will be underlined. Then we're going to write about their habitat. So where do they live? Then we're going to think, where can you find them during the day and where can you find them during the night? So let's have a think about those steps. First of all, where do they live? You might want to say they live in dark caves, where they're living with lots of other unicorns. You might want to say that they live on sunny hilltops or by strawberry plants. Then we want to think about where you can find them during the day. Remember, storm unicorns can be found in different places and rainbow unicorns can too. You could say that they will be in caves because they can't see in the daylight. Maybe they can only see in the nightlight by moonlit things. You could say that they're nestled under strawberry plants because they're sleeping. I've heard rainbow unicorns love berries of all kinds, so maybe that's why you could only find them nestled under a strawberry plant, because they're asleep. During the night, that might be when they come out and they are awake. So we might want to say that they'll be lurking by colourful plants in the forest, or maybe they're wandering around by moonlit pools looking for berries. Let's get writing. Okay, so I'm going to begin. I've got my steps to success here, and I'm going to begin with my subheading, which is about their habitats. And again, I'm going to challenge myself slightly and write it as a question. Where do rainbow unicorns live? That is essentially what habitat is answering. So I'm going to write that starting at the side of the page if it's a subheading. Where do rainbow unicorns live? And it's a question, so I do need my question mark. Then I'll underline it with a ruler because it is a subheading. Okay, and now I can begin with my first point. Where do they live? Well, I want to say that an interesting fact is, to hook them, a rainbow unicorn can be found in dark caves, living by themselves. That's what I want to say. I wonder what you want to say. But I'm going to hook them in by saying an interesting fact is. That's going to be my adverbial sentence starter. An interesting fact is, comma, the rainbow unicorn can be found in dark caves, living by themselves. The rainbow, leaving a line, now lots of you got so good at joining up your handwriting as you're writing, and I want you to keep challenging yourselves to do that. Can be found in dark caves, living by themselves. And I'm really glad full stop. To finish my point, always finish it with that. Then I can move on to my second one. Where can you find them in the day or during the day? Now, I want to say that you can find them in their caves. They do not leave their caves because the sunlight hurts their eyes. They've got very special eyes, haven't they? The deep blue colour, in my ones anyway. So I'm going to say during the day to again hook them into the next point that I'm going to say, hook the reader. So during, I can carry on the line here, the day, make sure I have a comma after my adverbial sentence starter to separate it from the main point. They, now I want to say do not, but I can actually make that into a contraction and say they don't. They don't, apostrophe, so I'm omitting, I'm getting rid of the O and putting an apostrophe in there instead. Leave their caves. Let's move on to the next page. And I'm going to explain why as well by using the conjunction because. They don't leave their, and remember it's their, they own their caves, don't they? So it's their, the homophone their caves, because the sunlight, all one word there if you want to write about sunlight hurting their eyes, hurts their, again, it's their own eyes, isn't it? So it's their eyes. Now I'm drawing the little man each time I write the word there, just as a reminder for you. That's not normal. You would normally just leave it as an I by itself, the letter I. Now I can move on to my third point, which is where can you find them during the night? Now, I don't want to just do another one because I've already said during the day, comma, and so I don't want to just say during the night because I think I can make it even more interesting. What happens in the nighttime is that they come out and people can actually go out looking for them. So I'm going to hook the reader again with an adverbial sentence starter and say, if you wish to see a rainbow unicorn, comma, so I'm going to do a phrase. If you wish to see a rainbow, because if someone is reading this fact file, they will most likely want to be looking for them. Comma, again, always finishing that sentence starter with a comma. Wait in the forest when the sun goes down. That's what I'm going to tell them to do because they come out at night. Wait in the forest until the sun. Obviously, when the sun goes down, that's when nighttime begins, because it gets dark. Full stop to finish that idea in that sentence. Then I'll say, after dark, you will see the rainbow unicorn lurking amongst the brighter, more colourful plants. So, after dark again is that hook. So, I'm going to say after dark. It's another phrase, comma, you will see the rainbow unicorn lurking amongst the brighter, more colourful plants. After dark, you will see I wonder what you will decide and where your rainbow unicorns will be during the day and in the night, lurking amongst, it's a good word, amongst the brighter, more colourful plants. And I'm going to have a comma to separate my two adjectives, the brighter, more colourful plants. Wow, what an amazing description about where you'll find them at night time. Let me read that back. It's always so important to read it back and see if there are any mistakes that I can improve on. Have I got my subtitle, or my subheading, sorry, and it's underlined? Yes. An interesting fact is, comma, really important that I have my comma. Again, I'm going to circle them just to really highlight them too, but you do not need to do that. The rainbow unicorn can be found in dark caves living by themselves. Full stop. Good. Capital letter. During the day, comma, now I've got my main clause after that. They don't, got an apostrophe there, leave their, twice, caves because the sunlight hurts their eyes. Good. And then my next point, if you wish to see a rainbow unicorn, comma, wait until in the forest until the sun goes down. Full stop. Capital letter. After dark, comma, you will see the rainbow unicorn lurking, that verb lurking, about them being around amongst the brighter, comma, more colourful plants. And I've got that comma there to separate my two adjectives, brighter and colourful, or more colourful plants, and a full stop to finish. Fantastic.